Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supah Nerd-tendo on No Fucks Given Radio.
Select your player. Player 1, start.
You're serious, aren't you?
About what I do, yes. Not necessarily the way I do it.
The Thing. Is this dork made of orange rock like the rest of his body?
It's a different morality. Get used to it or go home.
As long as I'm not that person.
The evil one.
Well, nobody's perfect, but that's overstating it a little.
Comic book shit.
I find that answer vague and unconvincing.
Yeah, pretty obscure.
Don't you think that's plain damn weird?
Your hosts, Mr. DKB and Racer XX Cash of the Supah Smash Bros and the Unknown Factor.
Did it work?
Supah Nerd-tendo.
Enough said.
Nope, Racer. Sir, well, shit, look, I said fucking, man, god damn it, no. DKB, fucking whatever. I fucking fucked up who I was. Whatever. No, DKB, you don't get the second. Because we're fucking live. And I'm already fucking shit up. But god damn it, this is No Fucks Given. And that's the official radio for those of y'all who don't give a fuck. Yeah. I am, of course, the Unknown Factor. Because I'm on this radio too much. So I'm going to make all these assholes talk way more tonight. That is my goal. Yeah, of course. This is Supah Nerd-tendo. So, you know, we got them Smash Bros in the house, gentlemen.
What up? What up? What up?
I don't know, man.
KB in the house.
I don't know. I know I fucking need to shave, man, because I've been growing a beard. I swear. It's like unintentional. Like, but it's cool.
You've been working hard.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. It just means we got the sexy beard club in the motherfucking house. Yeah. Pressing up them comics.
Right,
That's
right.
what's up. Gentlemen.
Hey, even hipsters bowing down now.
A hipster.
You know, like, some people get beards, and it's, you know, like, they go that old hipster route, man. I don't understand it.
I don't know, man. I'm just busy and don't have time to shave my shit on a daily basis. And I'm like, it gets to the point I'm like, yo, I'm scruffy looking like a motherfucker. So I shave. And when I mean a motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen, like, I mean, I need a pair of clippers to deal with my shit. Like, a razor don't even work. Like, I'm a scruffy looking motherfucker, right? For real. That's just how it is. Like, if you, at any time you meet me throughout the month, you never know exactly how much facial hair I'm going to have, because I just don't give enough of a fuck to shave on a daily basis, to be real goddamn honest.
I feel it.
Yeah.
It's struggle. Hard when you're working a lot.
It ain't a struggle. It's just I really don't give a fuck enough to do it. Like, until it, like, slightly irritates me. I mean, really, it's not. It's not about anything. It's just, like, even if I have the time, there's still like 20 other things I would do first before I went and fucking dealt with my beard. Unless it's getting to the point where it's made me uncomfortable. Man, you guys ever have uncomfortable beards?
Get the whole Sons of Anarchy thing going.
Sons of
Family
Anarchy?
members looking at you real weird, like they think you're the Unabomber or something.
Nah, man, I mean, I am the Unknown Factor. I was always kind of suspicious, but we won't get into that because tonight, like I said, yeah, we're diving in with the Sexy Beard Club. That's James and Leonard right here in the motherfucking house. Yeah, so.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. But I said, man, I talk too much on this radio, so I'm going to make DKB take that first question.
All right. Introduce you guys yourselves. What got you guys into comics?
Go ahead, Lenny.
Well, all right. Leonard Pig. I've been a writer for years. I mean, I was doing like the poetry slam scene down in Indianapolis. I was in Nietzsche's Trailer Park, which was a sketch comedy group. So I've always been on the creative end of things. Always had fun doing that. And before Marvel got bought out by Disney, I used to submit scripts to them like pretty regularly, and I've got like a nice collection of rejection letters. The coolest thing about those is they were all like autographed by Joe Quesada, which I thought, oh, cool, I got an autograph. Gotta look at the bright side of things.
I suppose that's definitely a plus.
I mean, somebody saw it, you know what I mean? It's not like you're just something that got off the side, so.
He had like a box of rejection letters. That's Todd McFarlane. So.
Yeah. Same kind of deal, you know?
I mean, really, yeah.
I've done a little bit of independent film here and there, too.
Yeah, say if you make it and you don't have a box of rejection letters, then fuck you, really. I mean, because pretty much everyone. I mean, because really, I mean, come on, how many people don't? Like,
right.
It's just kind of the standard across any field of entertainment. Almost is there's a lot of rejection letters of hey, no, you suck. For someone's like, yeah, and then whatever happens. But so James, what got you into this shit?
I've had early comic book ties since I was like 3. You know, that's like the first recollection of my first comic. But I just remember going to like Revco with my dad and just always looking at the comic racks and stuff. And always, I think eventually my dad bought me a couple of them, and I might still have them like my toy chest, but they're kind of not in the greatest condition or whatever. But I just always loved comics really since before I could really even read.
So both of you then, I'm curious, do you have a particular first comic that you really remember that you were like, that really made you a comic nerd? Like, is there one particular comic that stands out?
Look, they changed, maybe like not just the first book, but the first book that influenced me, basically? Is that what you're asking?
Like the first issue that made you a fan.
I don't know.
Going back, I would have to say, you know, when you're a kid, you see a lot of stuff like cartoons, and Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, or G.I. Joe, or Super Friends, and all this stuff. And then to read the medium's always going to be a little bit different. I remember reading, I remember this is like when there was like a Hook's drugstore, a few blocks down from where I lived when I was a kid, and on the rack they had, there was an issue of Green Lantern, and the background was exploding with the power battery, and Jon Stewart's flying out in the Green Lantern costume. I'm like, holy crap, there's a black Green Lantern? That ain't the dude on Super Friends. What is this? And that kind of really pulled me in, because I didn't even know that character existed until I just happened to see it there. I mean, now this was probably in the 80s, mind you, because at the time, like I think it was like Steve Englehart was probably the writer on the book, and I think maybe it was Dave Gibbons doing the artwork. But that was just a time for me, because like Stewart had been around since the 70s, but I didn't know my comic history. But it's one of those things when you really start getting into it, suddenly you're going to go back and look at the stuff.
Hey,
and really
real quick,
kind of learn a lot.
No, Leonard, you want to say you don't know your comic book history. All I got to say is I'm listening to you tell that story like your Green Lantern, it's exploding, and Jon Stewart's busting out. And the first thing I see is Jon Stewart from the fucking Daily Show is the Green Lantern, because that's how much I know about DC. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just... not a fucking fan, except for like 3 characters when it comes to that whole fucking label. It can fuck off. I'm sorry. I know I probably offended a shitload of people right there. That's my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, that's pretty bad right there. You should at least know Jon Stewart.
Well, no, I do. I do know Jon Stewart, as far as, I mean, I know Hal Jordan, and I can, like, the Green Lantern, man, it's okay, and I could name you a couple of the Lanterns, I could. And yeah, I do know, like, so I am aware, but it's just my brain at first when I hear that name. Yeah. At first when my brain hears that name, it thinks Daily Show, because I watched the fucking Daily Show for however long it was on. I
probably thought the same thing when I first learned about it.
Yeah, see?
It was the same.
Hey, come on. Let's just, real quick, let's face the fact that Jon Stewart, with the Green Lantern ring, man, that'd probably do the world some good.
Right.
Like, you ever use the Green Lantern ring on weed? That's probably what he ended up doing, right? Probably one of the funnier things that he did, just for that little cameo in that movie, man.
Right.
Half-Baked, that's a classic.
Oh, yeah. See, I just always liked him on the Daily Show. It's where I got my news without wanting to throw an axe at my TV. Because if I didn't get my news from there, I really wanted to just blatantly throw an axe at my TV. But that's not the point, though. So that's what really got you into it, and the thing that really first attracted you to comics. James, man, how about you?
Probably just Spider-Man. I just kind of related to Peter Parker a lot, because I was always kind of a nerdy person. He was a nerdy dude, you know? Kind of where, like, Spider-Man and Wolverine are my top favorite series of all time, but and really I just love the characters.
I just gotta say, you know who Whitney Payton is, right, James?
Yep.
You know she hates Wolverine.
It's her problem.
I just think it's so funny that like no, because she's like, it's such a stereotypical male fucking just, you know, superpowered. This is like pure like male fucking adrenaline rage or male hormone. It was a male hormonal, like, just ego trip is what she said. I just thought that was really fucking funny. All right, those are just Whitney Payton's words. I mean, there are plenty of women, men, and everything else that love Wolverine as a character. Some people just
weird. She didn't like Wolverine.
Yeah, dude, it was really. I was like, that's funny. And I was like,
because it's Canadian.
Hey, some Canadians. What's up with that?
I just found that odd, man. So Wolverine and Spider-Man. See, that's really what probably got me into comics too, was Spider-Man. To be real honest. Like the Todd McFarlane stuff is really what I remember first off anyways, really picking up. Those are my earliest memories.
Probably the cartoons, like the early 90s cartoons is what really probably got me into comics, because I remember just watching those. I knew the characters. I was like, that's when it probably upgraded how I became really obsessed with comics, was probably the cartoons helped a lot.
You were watching the X-Men 90s cartoon?
And the Spider-Man.
Hey, those
both
shits,
good.
Yeah, those shits was dope.
And Batman Adventures, those were good shows.
That goes back to it's DC. I'm just not a fan.
You like Batman Adventures? You're crazy, son.
Man, no, like it goes back to the fact there's certain episodes I like, but no, dude, I don't like Batman as a character. Like, you want to get into the debate of why Batman sucks as a character, or why like 20 other DC characters suck? Well, I know. I'm just saying.
Probably just because he's like establishment. He's like a really rich guy that pretty much does what he wants. That's probably that would probably be the big beef with him.
Kind of agree with. I mean, I don't like Tony Stark, so that's the reasons I don't like Tony Stark. Yeah. But Batman, I've always liked.
Batman's just an iconic character. I don't know.
I like the noir
vibe.
It's not like he's a new character and he's coming out today. And
I know. But exactly.
Just
so
if you came out, of it,
if you came out with that character today, and it had never existed before, and you just came out with that character, people would be like, that fucking egotistical fucking millionaire.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird and stupid. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
You could say that with pretty much every character, though, couldn't you? I mean, like Lobo looks like he's an '80s movie. I mean, I love Lobo.
Yeah.
You know,
he is an '80s movie.
He is an '80s movie.
I mean, he is an '80s movie, but see, I think he would work in the fact that motherfucker was always what's the word I'm looking for? He was always just mocking himself ostensibly. Like, that motherfucker was mocking so much shit. Like, Lobo was also that's a rip off of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, blatantly. Like, it's been admitted, I think, even at one point. Like, it was a rip off of Wolverine. Yeah.
Well,
Deadpool
and Marvel
ripped off the Deathstroke the Terminators.
Yeah. I mean, you're
right.
right.
Off Batman. You can look. They went back and forth. Marvel and DC ripped each other off for years.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And the Fantastic Four is a rip off of the Justice Society.
Really? See, I'd never heard that one.
Well, I mean, that's where they had a meeting. They were like Stan Lee used to hang out with Carmine Infantino, I think, but they said like our superhero teams are really doing good right now, and that's why he created the Fantastic Four as a superhero team, is because DC superheroes were taken off or whatever, like their team books. So Stan Lee decided to create his own superhero team.
It's like, do what's popular.
The elite team on Marvel.
Hey, so man, being that you guys, oh, sorry, DK. Now I'm curious. So, being that you guys are in the industry now, right? What do you think of the current state of the industry?
I personally hate it.
Optimistic.
I don't know. Just
serious stagnation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at a point right now. What's the term? Like they say, insanity is the same thing, expecting different results. That's kind of what they're doing with the big storylines, of the huge events that they do, like a couple times a year sometimes. And I know for a fact, like I've been to conventions and talked to writers and artists, and they get pissed off about it because like if some guy's writing, Captain, whoever, and the powers that be said, well, we got this secret Ultimate Crisis War crossover, and you got to do a tie-in, and it's like they're like, look, man, I got this whole other storyline going on. I don't really want to disrupt what I'm doing. That's going to just kill the flow. And they're like, nope, it's from on high. You got to do it. So they do it. And they'll do it with a smile, but, you talk to them at shows, and they're like, I hate it. And honestly, I feel like everybody should have their own little sandbox with their title. But when you're dumping, like, the bigger sand to some writer who's, got this critical acclaim or whatever is doing his thing, it's like, okay, then suddenly he's dumping his sand onto your box, and you're kind of going, man, I don't really, this isn't what I want for the character or whatever. And that's to me, that's one of the big problems. I don't think they're being receptive to the creative teams.
Yeah.
And diversity is just, God, like, man, there was a convention in Indianapolis, I think it was last year, and they had a panel on diversity in comics, and the whole panel was made up of, like, white folks. And I'm like, are you telling me you couldn't find an Asian or a person of color or maybe a gay person, something like,
Wait.
You can't really sit and talk about diversity if you're not going to talk about
Wait. Wait. What? They had a fucking panel on diversity in comic books, and everybody was fucking white.
Yeah, like, that's not really diverse, is it? I mean, call me crazy.
That's blonde hair and blue hairs. I'm just joking, but yeah. I get you. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, it's cool to have, like, okay, you got to look at it like people, like Cyborg and say, like, the Teen Titans and the Justice League. He's kind of a known character, whereas some of these folks are the spin-offs. Like Miles Morales, the Black Latino Spider-Man, he's a spin-off. He's another Spider-Man. War Machine, basically like an Iron Man color, but now I guess the Punisher's going to replace him, so, I mean, they're making these little efforts and strides, but with the characters, but you don't really see a lot of writers of color in the mainstream stuff like you would think.
That's what Matt Hawkins was talking about last episode.
Yeah, that's what he did, honestly. It's funny, you brought up 2 points that Matt Hawkins was talking about that, as well as the fact that what you're talking about as far as, make it to where it fits in this storyline. We're doing a huge crossover. That's the Marvel way. You got to fucking get it out the Marvel way. You got to do it. And he said it would drive motherfuckers crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's the Disney/Marvel way. So I imagine it's probably fucking worse.
I think that's what's really, I don't know if it is, but it seems like since Disney bought them out, they're trying to make way too many changes way too fast. That's kind of like the thing about diversity to me is how I feel like they could have added more black people or Latino people 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but they didn't. They made it all relevant now.
Yeah, now they want all these out now.
Because all of a sudden they're kind of going, oh wait, black people have money too?
Yeah.
Wait, Latino people have money too?
Yeah,
the gay people have money too? Like, yeah, so what the fuck? Come on, get with the program.
And wait, but you gotta see,
like,
look, Marvel and DC are both guilty of this right now, though.
DC's not really that bad, I don't feel. They do shit, like they made Harley Quinn gay for no reason other than just to get lesbian readers. But yeah.
Batwoman's gay, and they whitewashed a few characters. I know people are getting mad about that, but then they made one of the Wally West, like Kid Flash, black, and people were kind of tripping out about that. I'm just like, well, you've got the pre-Flashpoint Wally West who's running around, and he's, as he was, a ginger, and then now you have, like, the New 52 version who's, like, a black teenager. So it's like, depending on what flavor you like, you got something out there. Like, if somebody was like, I don't like Peter Parker, well, you have Miles Morales, I guess. I mean, it's almost like they're kind of offering you some choices.
And then you go to movies, and then they change their race completely, too. That's weird.
See, look, I don't give a fuck about that particularly. Like, when Kingpin...
that bothers me more.
Man,
don't change it. Yeah, it's totally different. It's not the same.
No, okay, well, here, let me make my case then, all right? Because, like I said, I only do in certain cases. Like, when they changed the Kingpin, because they had old boy play him, Michael
Clark Duncan.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan. May he rest in peace. God damn it, I'm really annoyed. Couldn't remember his name. But, like, that was a great casting choice for that character.
I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, it's not the same.
Well, and who the fuck... Yeah, who the fuck
do
were
it
you
quick.
gonna find? Yeah, just to play that character, so I can see that. But like,
I don't
if you look
know,
at the
Danny
man-
DeVito. Fuck.
Shut the fuck up, Danny DeVito is Kingpin. I
Like if
don't.
Chief Swenson had still been
Anybody,
alive.
I'm sure you could find that there's a billion people in the world.
We already talked
Yeah, but
about
you
Butterbean
need to,
in
like-
the first episode.
I mean, Kingpin's a huge guy. I think if Jeep Swenson hadn't died, and he played Bane in that Batman and Robin movie from the late 90s, if he was still alive, they probably could have cleaned him up, got him a dialogue coach, and he'd have been a good Kingpin. But, he's all roided out. His heart exploded, so he's gone. So
Whatever.
they really didn't have a lot of people
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
that
they
could fill that
had
slot
CGI
properly.
too.
But no, like he says, as far as changing the race in films, though, I think the worst example of that is the Fantastic Four film, the most recent one. Because, like, they just, they did it just for that reason. And the way they explained it, it was like, dude, you could have done this in a different way and made it better if that's specifically what you wanted to do. The way you did it just pissed a bunch of people off.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a major character. Whereas, like, I know people were getting mad when the Thor movie came out and they made Heimdall a black dude. They had Idris Elba playing him, and people were complaining about it. But, Heimdall didn't have his own series. Heimdall wasn't like a top-tier character. He's like supporting cast at best. With things like that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like,
That's all right.
like the Man of Steel movie, like they had Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. I'm like, well, that's actually a good choice because Fishburne's a great actor, period. And I don't think it changes the nature of the character very much, honestly.
I don't give a fuck if they change the race for the movie to platform, because there's certain things going to film that they do in comics that you're never going to see. So I accept the fact now that there's shit they're going to change. As long as they don't bring me shit like fucking the dude from the 70s show as Venom again, I'm okay. All right, but I don't need no dumb shit like that. Are you fucking kidding me? That, like, I don't know, you could have made Eddie Brock black. I would have no fucking problem with that. But he needed to be some dude
Man
that
was
was
the guy
at least
from Wings.
yeah, well, no, dude, just some dude that was 6'2" and was built for Eddie Brock. And the dude from Wings, the Sandman, that was fine. I thought that was a fine casting job.
He wasn't too bad.
Like, he was all right. Yeah. He would have been a fine fucking Venom. He would have been a better Venom than the Venom they had.
He had a touch of menace about him. Like, was that guy Topher Grace? That dude's not menacing at all. Like, if he got in your face, like, I'm gonna kick your ass, man, you'd be like, get out of here.
And you have him play Venom. Like, what the fuck? We're gonna have you play play Spider-Man's like second or third most nimicing fucked up opponent and villain. That's what we want you to play, man. Yeah, we know you come across like a little hippie stoner. That's okay. You can do it. No, you can't. You're a little hippie stoner. Go play a different character. Like, for real.
Go back to Wisconsin.
Oh my god.
Go have some cheese.
That was the worst casting I think I have ever fucking seen in a comic book film.
We could probably spend an hour talking about that, like the worst castings of all time. But.
Oh god! Why in the hell didn't they ever make Crispin Glover the Joker? Like, he would have killed that part.
Could see that. He's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Man, like, I saw him in American Gods, and I was like, this he's doing basically kind of like a Joker type thing. Like, he would have made a great one. He's got the bill. He looks the part, like, straight up in the books. But they never go that route. A lot of times nowadays, they're just getting British actors. Like, they got all these American stories they want to tell, and they put in all the Brits in the lead.
True.
Then, the Hollywood people are getting mad about that. Like, Sam Jackson went off about how the cast and, like, some of these British, like the black British, and, like, a couple of these guys got mad, kind of snapped back at him and said, hey, we're still black, so don't try to make it it's like, be glad any of us get roles in this.
Yeah.
It's deep, but it's not that deep.
God damn, everybody just wants to argue about everything, regardless of where the fuck shit is. I swear to Christ, whether it's comic book, movies, music, everybody wants to bitch at everybody for something else. It kind of blows my mind, man. Like, it really fucking does. I don't know, though, but I kind of, if Samuel L. Jackson, man, I don't know. I don't know the whole story. Unless I could get it from his lips, I fucking ain't going to judge in any goddamn way. I'll be real honest. That's pretty much what the fuck that boils down to, man. But no, I want to know, man, let's get back into this, because we've gone way the fuck off track. All right, so DKB asked the question. Oh, we do. It's okay.
You want us to talk, brother.
Oh no, dude. If we don't go off track, then we fucked up somewhere. Are you serious? We always go off track. That's what the fuck we do. All right? But DKB, get us back on track.
I don't know. Well, what kind of books you guys reading right now? I mean, what do you like right now?
I just picked up the Curse Words hardcover. I've been digging that by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. That's a real good book. But I used to read Marvel and DC more, but I've kind of gone more independent lately. If I do read anything.
I like the name of that book. Can I say curse words? I highly fucking approve. I really do.
Fuck yeah. It looks pretty good. What I've seen. Yeah.
Pretty decent. It's about a wizard who tries to, like, he just gets, I forget, they haven't really explained it, but like he just lands on Earth and then he was supposed to take it over basically, but he decided to be a good guy, and then now all the other wizards from the other dimension are trying to kill him and whatnot. He gets in all kinds of shenanigans, but it's also pretty funny at the same time.
That reminds me.
One wizard, and he's at a baseball game, and he ends up shrinking the whole stadium just so they won't panic or whatever. So he's like got a stadium full of people like in a jar. He's just like, I don't even know what to do with these dudes anymore. Like he just kind of just.
That makes me think of the comic book Mage from back in like the
Matt
fucking
Wagner.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Wagner.
Yeah, that's like, I swear, that makes me want to read curse words, James, for real. How about you, Leonard? What you reading?
Well, man, like right now, I've actually been, Amazing Spider-Man has been pretty fun read so far. Like an aftermath. Like this past year, they had this whole thing with Superior Spider-Man where Doc Ock's minds, and he just he started up a corporation called Parker Industries and all this huge tech firm. He was going real hard on people. Like he'd kill somebody at drop a hat, because in his mind he's a better Spider-Man. So the fact that Peter's back and still trying to figuring out how to deal with not being, well, he's in control of the company, but he's not used to being in control. You know what I mean? He's normally like low end of the totem pole, freelance. So suddenly he's a boss and he's calling shots, and they kind of put him in a Tony Stark kind of position because he's rich as hell. He's got company, branches all over the world. And
yeah, I've read a bit of that, man. They made it crazy.
Which I think is kind of fun because it's something they really haven't done with that character. Like give the broke dude money, give the broke dude power.
Well, hey,
see what happens, and that's.
On that note, can I just ask, have either of you guys seen the fact? I swear I seen something. They made Deadpool rich.
I haven't seen that.
No, I don't know about that one, but
I swear I was reading a graphic novel in a bookstore one day because just waiting, chilling around, bullshitting, and like Deadpool had like an exorbitant amount of money. But again, I don't know if that was in continuity because.
He is an assassin. Yeah. He could kill somebody for $1 million. It wouldn't be too hard, I would think.
Well, no, but they were making it like he had.
We franchised it out.
Yeah, they were making it like they fucking had. He had like Tony Stark money, like fucking yeah. Like in this comic I was reading, this motherfucker had Tony Stark money. Like, and I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, so it was fucking weird. So I don't know, but again, maybe that wasn't in continuity. That's one of the things that always throws me off, and specifically about Marvel and DC, is you never know what's really the current continuity of what the fuck they're doing because of how much they do.
They reboot so much, it's insane.
Oh.
And depending on how spiteful a writer is, they can come in and just basically shit on what the previous guy did and go, oh, we're going to have this character travel back in time. So that last run didn't actually happen.
If the writer don't know, right.
And it's crazy because if you look at they got an Uncanny Avengers, Sabretooth's an Avenger, Deadpool's an Avenger. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I mean, these are like,
now look,
villainous characters.
Now Sabretooth can't be an Avenger. Deadpool, goddammit, Deadpool can be an Avenger. You back up off him.
I mean,
Deadpool, he can do what the fuck he wants.
Redemption's always been kind of part of the whole Avenger thing. But it's just funny seeing these guys who are typically pretty fucking ruthless, helping people. And I mean, Sabretooth, man. I mean,
see that's wild. One there. That one there is a little much. I didn't know they'd made it. God, they've taken that shit fucking nutty. Well, hey, let's talk about some of you guys' work, right? I want to know initially, like, what have you guys all put out at this point?
Well, mostly we've put out the first. We just released the second issue of the Six Emperors, so we have issue 1 and 2 of that, and then I've also made a Mick Wagner preview book, but the main focus right now is the Six Emperors.
Okay, so that is the first project for either of you?
Yes.
All right. So, man, I gotta ask, like, what made you guys decide to, like, first be like, hey, we're gonna write a comic book, and then to go with the concept that you did?
We just brainstormed, I think, really, and just decided we wanted to work with each other, and then I just happened to see an article about, like, public domain characters, and we decided just to work with some public domain characters instead of just creating just new characters, because ideally, I mean, like, for example, we have Dracula in our story. Like, you don't have to know his Dracula's origin story to know who Dracula is.
That's kind of what Matt Hawkins was talking about last week, or last month.
I mean, and it's almost like
character you don't have to explain. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, even with you know, you don't want to bog people down with a bunch of crazy continuity. It's like, you know, we don't have the baggage.
You can twist it in a different way. Right.
Absolutely. I mean, the multiverse, it's built. Like, the concept of the multiverse leaves everything so wide open. You could do that. We could come out with another version of Six Emperors, and they could be completely different. You know, we could put in different continuity if we wanted and still play around with the same characters or a different roster. But for me, like, having been knocking on the door of some of the big industries trying to get some things going, I remember years ago I was at Wizard World Chicago, and they had a Wildstorm panel. And Wildstorm used to be part of Image Comics, and then that was like Jim Lee's studio, and he had a bunch of talent under him. DC bought that out, and that had become part of the DC universe. So like Wildcats, and the Team 7, and some of those other types of characters.
Yeah, Stormwatch. Yeah.
Yeah,
and they ended up breaking off by themselves after a while, though, didn't they? Because I don't think they're anymore or owned by DC any longer, are they?
They got bought out by him. I mean, and Jim Lee's like one of the heads of DC now. So.
Oh, is he? Fuck, I don't know, man. That shit's so hard to keep track of.
They had Stormwatch with Martian Manhunter in it, and then they had like Deathstroke was in Team 7. They like just combined everything. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, at this panel. You know, like you look at a lot of these companies, and they'll do the big talent search. It's like, we're looking for talent, and so they'll hire, or they'll say, well, we're looking for artists, and it's always looking for artists. So at the convention, you can go to these guys at the table, and, hey, I got this artwork, here's my portfolio, blah blah blah. But if you're a writer, it's a whole other creature, because nobody wants to look at your stuff because they're like, well, I can't look at them to listen to work. Okay, how about submission form? You know, or some of the companies have stuff you can submit a form, or you send them a letter of intent, and then maybe they'll say, sure, we'll take a look, or they go, we're not looking right now. So, like, after the panel, I went up and talked to Ale Garza, who is a phenomenal artist. He was one of the people that I think did Ninja Boy, and he's done a ton of stuff, like, for a lot of different companies. And I asked him, I said, look, man, I know you guys are always doing stuff for artists. What about writers, man? So what's the best way? And he just looks at me, he's like, self-publish, man. And that kind of seed was just planted there in my head. I'm like, okay, that's something I got to do. But at the time, I was working in retail. I'm not making any proper money. You know, fast forward, it's like, you know, James and I start talking about our similar goals, and we're like, hey, let's, you know, we can make this happen. And really working together, we're cutting our costs in half, and we're putting ourselves out there. That's like our audition piece, if you will.
Yeah, and that's, again, not to go back to Matt Hawkins, but that's something he said is the best thing you can have as far as to really show what you're capable of is published work, because that's really, it makes it to where it's easy to look at what you're capable of for if somebody else wants to bring you off. Yeah, that's
serious.
I think it's just crazy, though, and that goes back to the fact that I think it's just that's the way it is nowadays in pretty much any form of entertainment. You want to get into it, you better have some kind of form of it. It's really a fucked up loop and cycle, I swear.
Yeah.
I mean, look at those guys that created South Park. It came off of that little gag video they made called Spirit of Christmas. They did that shit back in the 90s. Some exec, I think George Clooney or somebody saw that and said to his friends, and suddenly it got circulated around Hollywood, and booyah, these guys are getting a show based off of that.
That's how Good Will Hunting happened. Like, Kevin Smith found the script in like a dumpster or something, or found it in the trash can or something. It's like took it to Miramax and they made the movie like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but somebody said threw it away or whatever, and he's like, you ended up reading the script and taking it to Miramax, and they ended up making Good Will Hunting, which won awards. You just got to get the right audience to see your project.
Yeah, for best writing, man, it did. Yeah. Fucking, I think it won an Oscar for best writing, if memory serves me proper.
But somebody looked at that and threw that shit away. It's like, nah, we ain't making that movie. I mean,
right.
You just got to find the right audience, you know.
Hell yeah, man. I think that's what it always is.
The way the industry.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Well, I was going to say the way the industry is right now too. Everything's kind of in a state of flux. So you got people that are wanting something that might not necessarily be maybe they don't want a superhero book. Some people like the grittier, more independent stuff, and we're about as DIY as you can get. So we just went for it. Everybody's got a story to tell, and I think, for me, it's like it's always been fun to be able to kind of put this stuff out there and then getting feedback. It's like we did like Kokomo Con. We've done that for like a couple years in a row. Well, probably more than a couple, but
4 or 5 maybe.
People that I don't even know are coming up to me on the street sometimes. Well, when's the new one coming out? And when's the new one? I'm like, it's in progress.
Well, man,
and it's a good feeling, Yeah,
can I just ask, man, what's it been like though, writing a comic with a partner like that, man? Because you say everyone has a story to tell. Well, you guys are telling a story together, so what's that like? That whole process? I say this because if I'm fucking writing a track, I got issues writing collab tracks because I'm trying to tell a story in my track, and I'm like, if I leave this open, this motherfucker's gonna take this to someplace I ain't trying to fucking take it. I'm just gonna write the third verse.
Right. And I think it's funny. I've heard people turn collab tracks into diss tracks. Where on their verse, they're dissing the guy whose track they're on.
Right.
I've heard that happen before, and I think it's hilarious. Kind of grimy, but
if that happened to me, then I just change my verses and rip into you even harder on that particular track. But that's just the fucking choice you made, sending me that verse back, you piece of shit. That's personal choice.
Yeah, I like collaborating. I've always kind of been of that team up mindset. A friend of mine years and years ago, this guy, his name J.D. Ferries Rowe. I remember one time he said, a hermit can't change the world. That was like one of the things he told me like ages ago. And I'm like, you're right. As reclusive as I can be, even though I can be alone in a crowd, I like the idea of kind of playing with others. I try to anyway. Just if only to kind of make me step my game up. And really, James is like this creative force in nature. So I feel like if I'm going to work with somebody like this, I got to be able to come just as hard, And I think we have a good synergy.
It's always fun to bounce ideas off each other, and he might come up with an idea that I wouldn't think of, or vice versa. It's kind of cool. I like it to a degree. It's fun. It's fun. It's kind of different. It's like almost like a symbiotic relationship, like Venom and Eddie Brock. You gotta come to agreement.
So wait, who's the symbiont? Because the symbiont always gets the better end of that deal. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just kidding, man. You just made a bad comparison there, James. Because for real, the symbiont's a dick. But I can get that, man. Especially
symbiote
here
comes from the word symbiote. There's symbiotes before the venom.
Well, he would get all fucking technical on me. But yeah, man, I know what you're saying. Because, for real, we do a lot of that over here at No Fucks Given Radio as far as just bouncing ideas off one another with all the respective hosts and myself and the wife and just fucking going through all this goddamn insanity, That's just in generally what the fuck we do over here. But so, once you guys start doing this, though, you start getting into the writing process. How much of a process was it to get it from an idea to, I got a book in my hand?
It takes a lot of work. We started we came up with the script originally, and then we met up with Sterling Clark, who's an artist in town, who's done, he's done a Spawn pin-up in issue 21 of Spawn, which was kind of cool. But, you know, Lenny hit up Sterling and asked him if he wanted to be down with the project, and then, but I mean, ideally, if we didn't have Sterling, we would have just had to, like, shop around for a while, and, like, until we found someone that was, it's kind of hard, because some artists charge you too much, some don't. You know, some aren't qualified to do drawings, you know, just, but... we just happened to talk to Sterling, he was down with it.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, they can't, like, they can do pinups at shows and make, that's how they make their money. They're not really trying to do sequential art. They're not really trying to put out a whole issue because they're like, that takes effort. Yeah, but we will pay you. No, I still can't. Like, it's kind of like they kind of want to be in the scene, but they're not. So it's like, all right, cool, whatever. Well, show must go on. So, you know, Sterling was with it, which is great. I mean, I like what he's done stylistically with it. You know, we came up with some character designs. He fleshed them out for us, and you know, we gave him some idea. I mean, because the project's mutated a little bit here and there, and that's going to happen with the process. I mean, we, you know, maybe we'll write an issue and then come back and do edits, and we're emailing each other back and forth, or we're sitting in the same room, kind of going back and forth on the computer, and you know, it's like we got pencil. Then we had, you know, had him Sterling doing the pencils, and we had let's see, was it Owen Leonard doing the inks. We had Pat Muncie on lettering for the first issue. I mean, we get it, the art and stuff gets passed around, gets fleshed out, and then, you know, finally we find a printer and go from there. So yeah, it's a bit of a process. I mean,
it sounds like it.
In your head, you just think it's more elaborate than you think.
Oh no, I can believe it. I mean, I think it's pretty much, there's a lot of similarities between that and pressing up a CD. You know, and my dog apparently sensed a demon in the room. I don't know, but she got pissed for a moment. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, she does that sometimes. You know, but yeah, I mean, so I can see that as far as, you know, from taking it from that to that, this is about the same as the process of, I mean, different, but I mean, as far as there's way more steps than anyone would think, from concept to here's a fucking product, you know. My dog threw me off. Oh, here you go. There, my dog threw me off, but I got my question now, and I'm curious. Did you guys just decide not to color it just budget wise, or did you guys just want it in black and white?
A little of both. I mean, I like old school black and white comics, but we plan to eventually maybe release a color version. We just wanted to focus on the actual art originally.
I think with the art style, it works really well too, because his art style has that old school feel to it.
Yeah, I dig it. That's why I just wondered. I mean, because I don't even want to know what all this shit costs. If you guys want to throw out numbers, that's fine. But I imagine to get somebody to color that whole comic would be fairly pricey.
Is an extra step. It's just another step to the process, you know.
Yeah. And depending on who you get, like how much experience they got, I mean, it's, you know, you can get somebody that's established, and it's going to cost. I mean, there's no set price for any of this stuff. Even like going to print, it's like depending on which printer you go through, and how many, you know, your quantity, the prices are going to vary.
Well, hey, they came out smooth. I know that. I got a copy of issue 1 and the very first issue, or copy of issue 2 as well, up in my crib. I actually just read both of them today.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Always, man.
Absolutely.
Always. Anybody down with the Smash Bros, I'm down with. And for real, when it comes down to it, goddamn, man, F the mainstream. Yeah, and this is F the mainstream by the Supah Smash Bros. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Supah Nerd-tendo.
Mainstream, all I hear every day is the same thing over and over. So no need to play me. You couldn't even pay me a dime. That's why I'm staying high. I'm underground for life. Fuck the mainstream, all I hear every day is the same thing over and over.
Oh shit! What the fuck's going on?
What the fuck is that? Up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. Ah, shit, these goddamn aliens are trying to eat my broadcast again.
So as they say in Canada,
Tune in to Aliens Ate My Broadcast every third Tuesday.
I mean, there must be some way.
Fuck it. Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Shut up! Shut up!
We just might get into some crazy shit.
Conspiracy theory, anarchist, fucking antichrist.
We better think of something.
Yeah, that'd be even better.
We better think of a way.
Your host, Mr. DKB, and myself, the Unknown Factor.
you're both pieces of shit. Yeah, I can prove it mathematically.
Try and catch Nessie with us. Fuck, we might even find Bigfoot or some shit.
Does evil exist? And if so, can one detect and measure it? Rhetorical question, Morty.
I'm just going off on rants. I love it.
The answer's yes, you just have to be a genius.
Numbers, man. It's all about fucking numbers. Everything adds up.
Right here.
I'm No Fucks Given Radio.
God damn it, stop eating my broadcast.
Peace out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. That's right. No Fucks Given Radio. Supah Nerd-tendo, motherfucker. I am your host. Well, one of them anyways. Sorry, guys. I'm really used to saying that too fucking often. So, yeah, I'm one of the 3 goddamn hosts of this show. That's what's up. Yeah, I am the Unknown Factor. Of course, we got them Smash Bros, Mr. DKB, and Racer Excess Cash in the motherfucking house. And Racer, I heard you got something on your mind?
Yeah. Battle.
Oh, yeah?
First versus battle is going to be Sinestro from DC versus Silver Surfer and Marvel. And who do you think would win? And that's a tough one for me. I feel
So we're like, which version? Just plain Sinestro versus plain Silver Surfer?
I say the yellow leader of the Sinestro Corps, Sinestro, the yellow ring, the fear ring versus just the basic Silver Surfer.
Okay. Who you got?
I'd probably have to go with Sinestro on this one.
Really?
Sinestro? Yeah. Really? Really? All right, Leonard, how about you? Who you got?
Well, man, it'd be a hell of a fight. Absolutely hell of a fight to see, but I'm thinking Surfer would get him because, like, Power Cosmic is just, he can do way too many things as opposed to just making constructs.
Right. Doesn't Sinestro have to recharge his power after a day? So, like, say the battle lasts longer than a day. Right. Obviously, Silver Surfer's going to win.
Yeah.
However,
I'm going to have to agree with DKB and Leonard. Racer, who you
or
got?
Or is, like, the Silver Surfer, if the Silver Surfer, the early Silver Surfer, I could see Sinestro beating him. That would be a good fight, though.
Surfer? Yeah.
Oh no, we're going when that
motherfucker.
Look, we're going when Sinestro just got the gold ring or yellow ring, and then we're going Surfer right after. Right. Like he ain't got fucking to deal with Galactus no more. He's on his own. Yeah, he's got all his power. And I'm sorry, I agree. Like Surfer at that point is gonna fuck up half the Lantern Corps by himself if he wants to. That's my opinion.
Yeah, he's one of those characters. He's always been very mellow. You never really see him getting real emotional and going that shit. But
so, like, what kind of fear does Silver Surfer have at that point?
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Sinestro's power relies on fear. How the fuck
I know how because Silver Surfer joined the Galactus to save his home world. Just he'll fear his home world blowing up. You could have him fuck with his mind.
And his. What was his lover, Shalabal, maybe something like that, mess with that. Maybe her. You can use her as a hostage or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know that a great deal about Sinestro. I know more about him from like the TV shows and shit and the animated series they've done that he's been in, movies, whatever, and the Green Lantern movie, which I know everybody was like, that was fucking terrible, whatever, right?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a bad movie. But
I like the characters that had in it and shit.
No,
it's not the greatest comic book movie of all time. But
oh well, no,
I thought it was good for what it was.
Yeah, I mean it was. Yeah. But no. In this, Surfer has the fucking constant. Like, no, he's got the fortitude of mind to deal with that shit. I don't think Sinestro has the will, and I don't think Surfer's afraid of enough to make that battle an even battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's half done before it starts, to be real honest, in my opinion. So wait, who are we calling this on then?
I got a Silver Surfer too.
I think it's Silver Surfer took it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Surfer it is then, man. Surfer moves forward. But hey, since we had the Sexy Beard Gorilla press up in this bitch, we decided to throw another one out because, we had this one dude that my wife booked who, did this thing called Zombie with a Shotgun. And look, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can find on the web is he's apparently getting ready to make a movie. There's a comic coming out. The comic looks dope. The web series, don't waste your fucking time. It is a waste of fucking time. It's shitty. You should go listen to myself and Racer thrash on it, though, for I don't know how long on episode 3. Episode 3, yeah, me and Razor thrashed this shit because we both watched it and wasted our times. But I don't know. No, that shit was worse than Lords of Salem. And that fucking says something. Babe, what's this prick's name?
Hilton Ariel Ruiz.
All right, because I can't pronounce that shit because he didn't even have the courtesy to show the fuck up, right? So based on the fact that he didn't show up, he's already gotten just... we were dicks. We were. You should show up if you're booked on No Fucks Given Radio. I'm just saying, right?
Unless you're dying.
Unless you're dying. I mean, if you have a serious excuse, that's fine. But if you don't even get fuck you. There's logical reasons that I'll accept. Extenuating circumstances and exceptions to every fucking rule. That is the way of the world, right? But since he didn't have any of those things, man, he's got to go up against Arseface from Preacher. Yeah, that's right. Right? So. I want to know, DKB, right off the bat, who you got?
Right. Let's talk about it for a minute. Arseface, I didn't know who this guy was, so I looked him up. And, his ass, he basically has an ass face, just like his name. But then I read about him. He tried to kill himself. That's how his face got like that.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain. He was a big fan of Kurt Cobain or something.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain himself. Yeah, right. And then, he thought he was dying. His dad comes in there and he said, "You should have stuck the shotgun in your mouth." Kick him while he's down type of shit. But, so apparently this Arseface goes around trying to kill people.
No, Arseface is...
With the shotgun. Yeah,
no.
See, I was reading, that's what it was saying.
Wait, what?
You might do it afterwards. I mean, I don't know what happens after.
Wait, everybody, hold on. No, because I've read all of... Has nobody else in here read all of Preacher?
I don't even mind.
I've read all of it. I mean, because he started off, when he came back with the guns and the motorcycle and all that, he was wanting to kill Jesse, but then they ended up getting him laid, and he mellowed out after that. He was cool with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely turns into a fucking hard ass.
I mean, and then later on, he ends up becoming a pop star. And then later, he gets married or something. At the end of it,
And then Hilton's just some dude that wrote some fucking shit that turned into a really shitty web series.
Yeah,
right.
That's go with Arseface.
Yeah. I'm definitely especially if we're going fucking after fucking his dad had his dick shoved up his ass because Jesse told his dad to go fuck himself, and Arseface dumb went hardcore. I'm gonna fuck it. Yeah, if you're going with that Arseface, man, Hilton, you are about as fucked as you were in episode 3.
Yeah, right. I'd Arseface myself if I have to watch Zombie with a Shotgun again.
Dude, don't.
Man, I'm kind of burning the whole zombie thing.
No. Okay, well, look. Oh, Jesus. Lando, I won't even go anything more into that because I really don't want to talk about it anymore. Besides the fact that, really, that Zombie with a Shotgun web series, don't waste your time. The comic, there's a cover you can look at. It looks okay. If it in any way, shape, or form follows the fucking lack of fucking story and whatever the fuck that was and in that fucking web series, then no, the comic will be just as shitty if it's got the same kind of writing behind it, because it was really fucking terrible, right? So who you got, Lando? Huh? You think Hilton can get past Arseface?
Lenny?
Arseface would just fucking pound it. There's no a zombie, fuck a zombie, dude.
Wait.
They're the crackheads of the monster community.
All I got to say is the fact that you used the phrase, man, Arseface is going to pound him. It's just really... It's quite price. So Hilton, man, you get pounded by Arseface. Yeah, that sucks. Can I just make an executive decision over here real quick at Supah Nerd-tendo? Because I know we're going to get into the rest of our battles at a later point in time, but I just got to say, that puts Silver Surfer up against Arseface. So we're just going to go ahead and say Arseface is losing this next round, And the Silver
What if he gets the power cosmic? You don't know what happened.
Man, what? We're going to give that motherfucker the Infinity Gauntlet for that round?
Maybe he found, like, the fucking Sinestro ring after the battle and was like, I'm Arceus with fear, bitches. I don't know.
I don't know. Yo, that might work because, look, that face is going to scare you. And then if he's got that ring, you might fucking just lose. That is the truth. Holy shit.
Arceus is going to collect all the Infinity Gems and just have all kinds of baddest cosmic cubes and whatnot.
Yeah, he'd probably just bring back Cobain.
we're not getting into resurrected, man. Hell no. We kill people. We kill people on the No Fucks Given Hour. And we kill people on this radio not to bring them back. What's wrong with you? I already had fucking somebody saying they were going to try and bring back Trey Flows. Fucking asking why he had to die. Because you had to die. You came on the No Fucks Given Hour. That's just how it is. But whatever. But this is Supah Nerd-tendo, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. So that's the verses. So, man, we got a hell of a... Like, have y'all looked at this bracket? Man, DKB, I need you to get this bracket, I swear, just so we can show everybody. Because this shit is getting fucked up.
It's been a minute. We've had Hellstorm and then who else?
Oh, see, you're going to ask right after I put that shit up. Man, that's some bullshit. Right? What? We got Hellstorm versus Ash, Vampirella versus Dr. Lauren, and we got Arseface versus Silver Surfer, and then we've got 2 battles to be determined to determine what the other, next round will be. Because that will be the semifinals. That'll be close, though. That'll be the semifinals. If that makes sense. I don't know if it does.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah, quarterfinals. There you go. That's right. I didn't know that word, man. Whatever. My bad. Are you sure? I think you made that shit up. DKB's on y'all's interview making up fucking words, guys. That is some horse shit. Yeah. Hey, but I want to get into another thing, man. So we got into the fact that you guys used, public
domain.
Yeah, public domain characters, right? So I want to know, when you guys were going into that, how did you guys choose the characters that you were going to use? Because I imagine the characters in public domain, I mean, I imagine that list is fairly extensive, isn't it?
Yeah, we just, we found a list and just shot ideas off each other and then came up with the idea of, like, the 6 Emperors, which is, like, basically a supervillain, like Illuminati ruling the world from the shadows or whatnot. So we kind of started with that, I think. It's been so long, it's been kind of blurry, but I think that's ideally what we did.
Basically, and then we went with some characters that were known, and then we went with some that were just a little bit obscure, or just haven't really been used that much. You know, like, I think Professor Moriarty is probably, like, one of literature's great villains. You know, I mean, to go against Sherlock Holmes, I mean, that's, you know, you always want a good sinister mastermind, and Moriarty definitely fit that bill.
Now then, so why is it you guys decided to focus on the villains in this story?
Just more colorful, I think.
And they don't have all the compunctions that, like, a typical hero team would have. If they were like, oh, we got to rescue these people, like, they wouldn't necessarily be concerned about rescuing some people. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but, like, in issue number 2, basically, Moriarty ends up using, he'll take out an entire building just to get one person. That's how, you know, if you're on this list, you're on this list. You know, there's never a concern about collateral damage.
I think we just saw that there's a lot of superhero books out, so we was like, maybe we should do like a supervillain kind of book, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
our villains are kind of our heroes in the book, really. I mean, they're not villains. It's kind of weird because, like, we have heroes that are kind of the villains of our villain book. Is kind of how it works, you know.
Because really, most of the time, bad guys want to take over the world. Well, they already have. It's just a matter of maintaining what they've got. So, you know, like, they're king of the hill. They just got to keep staying on the hill.
I know you guys fuck with me in that. Like, I'm reading this story, and that kind of fucked with me. I'll be real honest. Like, it threw me off. Like, I'm like, wait a second. Like, Like you had me trying to, like, I felt like there was a piece to the puzzle I was missing. And I've read issue 2, ladies and gentlemen, and I still feel like there's something that I don't fucking know that I should at this point in the story. Why are you guys fucking with me?
All part of the Six Emperor's plan, bro.
Oh
yeah.
That shit's rude. So how many issues you guys planning on for this?
We're still working on it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, like, the first, 4?
Yeah, 4 written. Yeah, 4 written, and then we just kind of took a break after that because it takes a long time per issue.
Yeah.
And we could write 100 issues and still be on issue 3. So we kind of just took a break from it until it catches up with itself or whatnot. We decided just not to write any more stories. I mean, we always got ideas and stuff, but we're just going to focus on the first 2 issues right now and then figure out
what. You could write whatever you wanted to write. Anything, any comic property, what would you guys like to write? Or what would
like a team or separate or?
Yeah, separately. I mean, yeah. What would your dream be writing for? What characters, or
Probably I'd like to just write. Go ahead, Winnie.
I'd say I think it'd be kind of fun to get a crack at somebody like, say, like maybe Captain America, somebody sort of an establishment type character, and then maybe put that on its head, which they're kind of doing now, but in a completely different way. Like they're making him a bad guy, which I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't really work.
They pissed a lot of people off with that.
Yeah, like the writer got death threats behind that.
I'd probably like to write. I don't know. It's a tough one. There's so many characters, but I'd like to do maybe like a Sinister Six Spider-Man story or something like that.
Ooh.
I'm a big. I mean, like I said, like Spider-Man is one of my favorite, if not favorite, characters, and I love his villains gallery because they're so obscure and weird, and there's so many good ones,
Yeah.
Him and Batman. Yeah, him and Batman share that in common.
Spider-Man definitely got some good villains.
Yeah, no condiment man. What the fuck ever.
The cartoon, I don't think he was in the books.
No,
man. The Flash had a good rogues.
And Flash has real good villains for being underrated.
Yeah.
Well, he might not be underrated anymore because he got the TV show, but...
Well, hey, dude, I'll be real honest. That's one of the few DC characters, hero-wise, that I really care for, is the Flash. I think the Flash is a good character.
Alright.
That's just my opinion, though, Like, sincerely. Hey, we're talking about good characters, though. So, we always do a top 5 over here at Supah Nerd-tendo. All right? And tonight, yeah, we're going to do free domain characters. Well, I take that back. Characters that have been used within the Six Emperors universe. All right? So I'm curious. We're going to start with the guys who made this shit. Yeah? So, Leonard, what's your top 5?
Well, number 5, I'd say, is Captain Nemo. He's running things from the ocean. He's got a lot of high-tech stuff, but he's also got a couple of secrets that we haven't gone into yet, and we've got some things in store for Nick. I think will be fun to play out. 4, I'd say Dr. Jekyll. I mean, he's got the high side, of course, but he's the rookie of the group. He's still trying to find. I mean, he's got his place. He's come up, but he's the guy that kind of just grabbed his destiny by the balls, and just went for it. 3, I think Bride of Frankenstein. He's powerful. He's been around a long time. And probably one of craftier characters. And I think it's kind of we had a little fun spin on giving her like an electrical ability. I mean, the bolts in the neck, the lightning gave her life, so it's kind of cool to have her be able to throw a little bit of electricity back. 2, yeah, she's fun. Real fun. 2, I'd say, is Moriarty. He's just he's like the Lex Luthor type of the group, He's that sharp mentally. He's always got something up his sleeve. He's the guy that'll work the angles, and I think that's one of the fun things about him, because here he is. He's a guy, like a regular dude. He doesn't have any powers, and he's standing up with like Dracula, and he's standing Adonis like Helen of Troy. And then for one, like number 1, I'd actually say is Hugo Danner, who gets introduced in issue 2, who is like this new wild card in the series, and he's just, he's back with a vengeance basically, and his backstory is pretty wild. So that's like my 5.
Hell yeah. James?
I'd have to go number 1, Dracula. He's just a big fan of Dracula in general, but I kind of see him as like not the leader, but I mean they're not following each other, but he's kind of like the head of the castle, he kind of keeps track of everything. 2, I'd have to say, I'm gonna shout out Mick Wagner on that. That's the character I created the preview book for Sexy Beer Club Press, but he's kind of like a superhero with the noir kind of vibe. 3, I'd have to go James Moriarty. I'm always a big Sherlock Holmes fan, so it's kind of cool to always get the opportunity to write James Moriarty. We kind of have him like he's almost kind of like an Iron Man where he uses like forbidden tech and stuff that he might not look like he has anything on him, but he has all kinds of tech hidden and stuff. But 4, I'd have to go Captain Nemo. And 5, I'd probably go Helena Troy. She's like the goddess of the group. She's one of the gods. So
Hell yeah.
My top 5.
Hell yeah. DKB, what you got?
Let's see here. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna throw something that James made. I'm gonna go with Mick Wagner. I think he's a pretty cool character. Let me see. I'm gonna go with Moriarty, and then I really like Dracula. He's a pretty cool character. And then 2 more. Gatorback Jack, which has been in the pinup, but he's a really cool character. He just kind of reminds me of Killer Croc or somebody like that, but with a pretty cool attitude. And number 1, I have to say, is another one like that, Candyman X. He's a serial killer, and his calling card is stuffing different candy in your mouth.
KB played the first Candyman X in high school.
I did. That's true, but yeah, that's my top 5.
That's terrible, DKB. Well, for my top 5, man, I just got to say, I like that. I like that Mick Wagner. I do, too. I look forward to more of that shit right there. So, yeah. As well as, man, I know everybody said Moriarty, and I definitely agree with that one. But I don't give a fuck. Y'all better fucking, say something about Sherlock Holmes in this book, man, because that's my shit. I love me some Sherlock. So I'm putting him on this list, too. Because fucking, you just better show up. I don't give a fuck if it's a flashback. Show me how he died. Something. Like what happened to Sherlock. Because he existed at some point. I know that. Because fucking, you gotta avoid fucking referencing him. So he existed? What the fuck happened to that character? So those are 3 right off the fucking bat, man. And then, I really want to know what the fuck Candyman X is. That entices me. But that's my homicidal side. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Right? And then Captain Nemo. Because for real, I think him and Moriarty share in common that there's, they just oh no, I'll slip something out my sleeve and you won't know what the fuck it does till it kills you.
Right on.
I love those kind of guys. Racer, who you got?
Well, I thought you had 1 more. Is that 5?
That's 5, unless I counted wrong. I think that's 5. I don't know. I said Sherlock, Moriarty, Mick Wagner, fucking...
Oh, sorry, you said Sherlock. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're counting Sherlock.
Yeah, damn right I'm counting Sherlock. Sherlock Holmes is one of the greatest literary characters in fucking history.
But he's haven't been used.
Hey, no, they fucking referenced him, though, so I expect some kind of backstory of how he died. So, yeah, he has kind of been in there. Come on. I know I'm playing an angle, but let me play my angle.
Good.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, that's right. So, Racer, who you going with?
Too many good ones to choose from, man. I'll go with the same as everybody. I mean, I don't know.
You can't go with the same as everybody else. Everybody chose different shit.
I already technically answered it, so it's kind of weird that I answered the same thing. I can't.
Oh, whatever. Racer can't split his personality like I can. That's probably a good thing, dude. It means you're not as psychotic. Congratulations. You've passed the psych test of Supah Nerd-tendo. You didn't split yourself into two separate personalities for this, Racer. That's a damn good thing. But yeah, that's what's up for real. Hell yeah, though, man. Like, I think that's crazy you guys just took characters like that and did. That's just, man, that's nuts. Like, I really... Like, and you're fucking telling me you're taking time off, so fucking, like, do you even have a time frame for issue 3?
Takes a long time, man. We could give you a time frame, but it doesn't mean it's going to hit or nothing. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
It's a long process.
Fair enough. Estimated ETA, like, a year?
Bro, I mean, I'm not going to say any time, man.
Fair enough, dude. It's okay. I got a lot of projects myself that I wouldn't give a time frame for because I'm like, I don't know when the fuck I'm going to be done with that. I've got shit to record and get produced. So whatever. I get it, and especially with the fact that you guys got to discuss it with the artists. It's just such a multi-tier process with what you guys are doing.
Show.
That's purely insane. DKB, ask him a question. I know you got one.
Yeah, I know you guys have been to a lot of cons. You guys have, been out there, set up shop, and, got your word out there and met some people. I mean, how was that like, and what have you learned from that whole experience about, the cons in general and just, your product?
I always enjoy cons. That's probably one of my favorite things to do still in the comic book world is going to meet the artists and writers and just... from our standpoint of selling the book, just like getting to meet people that like our stuff, it's kind of cool. We're just shooting it up, just talking to people, having conversations. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm sure Lenny does too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's, opportunities just to kind of talk to people in the industry that, and what the cool thing is, I like the camaraderie that comes from the independence. Like a lot of times, it's like, I go to these shows, and it's like, Dirk Manning is one of the people, like, I've talked to. Like, I bought his book, like, a couple of years ago, and I've talked to him multiple times, and we always, like, when I got the book, the How to Write Comics, I was kind of basically refreshing myself on it, because I've been doing it previously. I just, like, again, I haven't been published yet. So, people like him, Casey Pierce, Uncle Raffy. There's so many creators out there that are doing things, and it's not even, they're not mainstream. Christy Blanche. There's just a ton of people that are doing some really cool things out there, and it might not be mainstream, but it's definitely solid work. And it's just there's a complete universe of just good shit out there. You just gotta look for it.
Hell yeah. That's why I love this shit right here, man, because for us, what No Fucks Given Radio is about is the underground of all kinds of shit, whether it be music, comic books, wrestling, movies. That's just fucking show the underground support and love, because there's a lot of good shit out there that nobody fucking pays attention to, Leonard. I can definitely agree in that.
I feel like sometimes when you find something that you dig that's maybe not necessarily with one of the big companies, somebody who's doing their own thing and putting out product, you feel like you're in on the joke, or you're in on the secret. Like, you're like, man, nobody knows about this. Maybe you post something on your social media about it. You're like, hey, this guy's great. Or maybe you send that person a friend request or whatever the case may be, but you want to express it, like for me, Tom Hooker's like a big one of the, I really dig this guy's music, and I've been digging his stuff for like a while. And, every once in a while I'll show people this stuff. I'm sure you guys probably see movies or books and things, and you go, man, you got to check this out. You just hear, I'll just borrow it. Don't even buy it, just borrow it, And that's what got turned me on The Preacher, like, years and years ago. I met a guy who was a bouncer in Broad Ripple, late night at one of the Denny's, and we're sitting around talking, and he just starts telling me about the book. We were talking back and forth. I stopped reading comics for almost about a year or so after the Preacher series ended. I said, I'm done. They can't top this. There's nobody that can top this.
Right.
Wait. See, I disagree. Yeah, Garth Ennis can top that shit. Garth Ennis can top his own shit with The Boys.
The funny thing was, it's like I stopped reading comics, and then I heard Garth Ennis was doing The Punisher, and I was like, really?
Oh, whew.
So I came back to it. I was like, all right, I'll because it's Garth Ennis, I'll start reading. And I started reading again, and I found some other writers like, Grant Morrison. He's just so out there, and he's one of the great ones too, I think. Dwayne McDuffie was a big influence on me, and when he was alive, I actually emailed him a few times and got some advice, because when I was trying to get in the industry, I had people trying to put one over on me. I mean, like, you got guys out there. Basically, this dude was telling me he was working for a guy that was going to restart the Epic line. Do you remember, like, in the 80s, Marvel had the Epic line?
Yeah, I remember Epic.
It was kind of like what DC is doing or was doing with Vertigo. It wasn't necessarily superhero stuff. There was some sci-fi, there was some fantasy, there was some just outlandish shit that they were putting out. And this guy was like, hey, this guy Mark Jacobs is going to restart the Epic line. He's going to be the editor. I'm going to do the art. So give me your scripts. Don't bother submitting them to Marvel. Just give me your scripts, and I'll pass them on to my editor, and we'll see what we can do. And something about that kind of set me off. He's like, don't even worry about the submission form. Just give me your scripts. And I'm like, well, no. So I emailed Dwayne McDuffie. And Dwayne, I mean, he was plugged in the industry because he'd worked for Marvel and DC. He'd done a lot of animation stuff for Cartoon Network. So he'd sent me a reply back. He was like, there's nobody named Mark Jacobs that works for Marvel. There are no plans to restart the Epic line. I would definitely avoid working with or giving anything that you've done creatively to this person. And so I dodged that bullet, and, God rest his soul, he was kind enough to, verify that for me.
Hell yeah. That's good shit, man. That's good shit. I think that's anything, though, man, as far as you getting screwed over. There's not any aspect of life where there's not someone trying to fucking get you. I mean, but it works both ways. There's motherfuckers trying to help you in every aspect of life, too. It's just being able to differentiate one from the other, which, ladies and gentlemen, it can be a goddamn pain in the ass. Ain't that the truth? But hey, where can people go and pick up a fucking copy of Six Emperors if they want to get one?
Right now we don't have anything online set up, but if you live in the Kokomo, Indiana area, we can definitely meet up with you. But we'll do a couple signings here and there, and then we're doing Kokomo Con in October, and then we haven't really set up any other signings because we literally just got our books in last week, so we're still in the process of figuring out where we need to set up and stuff. But we're planning on doing a couple of signings and cons this year, and then till the books are gone.
Hell yeah! See, I know. I done got the first. I done got the first copy of that fucking issue too, though. It says first copy on it. I love it. It's dope.
Cool. I do know that issue number 1. There are a couple stories in Coquitlam that do have it. Paradigm Comics has some, and Sunspot, the health food store. They've also got some copies in their local author section. Because believe it or not, there's actually a talent pool here in town, and people are putting out material.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, if somebody hit you guys up at the Sexy Beard Club Press online on Facebook, man, couldn't you guys get a copy shipped to them?
Yeah, we can figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, we'll make some kind of arrangements.
Yeah, it's on Facebook right now, if you want to check out a copy.
Leonard wants to make arrangements with people. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about, Leonard? Huh?
I'm sorry I'm using such big words. I'll dumb it down for you, sir.
Oh, fuck you, asshole. You motherfucking dick. I'm into the fact that fucking you trying to get perverted and God knows what. Hell, maybe you trying to rape somebody. You want to sit there and say, I'm using 5th grade words, you asinine, presumptuous motherfucker. What? Just because I use the word fuck a lot, you think I don't know what the word... I'm going to kick this motherfucker's ass. He ain't that far.
I have to keep reminding myself I'm not talking to Steve-O from Jackass. You sound just like the dude.
I sound like Steve-O from Jackass.
Kind of weird.
That's a new one. I've never heard that I sound like Steve-O from Jackass.
Like, seriously, you do. I'm surprised you're not stapling your balls to your thigh right now.
No. I'm fucking good. Leonard? No, Leonard. I'm good. I'm not stapling my nuts to my motherfucking thigh. I mean, I got a stapler here, but that's for, like, notes and lyrics and shit. It's not for my nuts.
What about the hardcore matches?
look,
hardcore matches
hey,
in wrestling?
no. Well, I mean, I ain't doing them, but I mean, we totally just had the Blood Beyond the Mat premiere last night on the radio with Rude Boy, and yeah, we definitely got into some hardcore match shit. But that's because that's some shit Rude Boy did. Like, he went into a whole story about a motherfucker. They told a dude to go and get some staples at the store, and he got the extra long ones in. Or he got the extra long staples. So when they put the staple in his head, he's sitting there like trying to pull it out. Like, why the fuck can't I get this out? And he's got a holler at Madman Pondo. Like, yo, Madman, help me with this. This motherfucker had to get a screwdriver and put it in the fucking, like, in between his fucking head and this fucking thing and pop because it was in his skull. So yeah, no, I don't do that shit though, right? I mean, you know, Rude Boy does that hardcore shit, and I definitely am not no fucking Steve-O. No, man, I'm the unknown factor. Don't you know? Well, actually, I guess you wouldn't. That's what makes me the unknown factor. Yeah, Leonard, don't you know? And this, ladies and gentlemen, has been Supah Nerd-tendo. Yeah, with Sexy Beard Club Press. Sure, you get at them, pick some shit up. I don't give a fuck what they say. Bug them about it, cause do it, cause why not, right? I mean, they can bug you guys about it, right?
Yeah, it happens on occasion.
Hey, if they want your shit, you should be okay with them bugging you about it, guys.
I'm totally okay with them bird dogging me about it.
Hell yeah. But, any final thoughts from you, gentlemen?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been fun bantering and support independent artists because the corporation don't give a shit about you. We're independents, though. We pride ourselves on our fans and our friends. That's where I'm at with it.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. James, Razor, whatever the fuck you want me to call you. Like, see, you got to confuse me this morning. See, you got to confuse me this episode because you go by fucking James, which comic book shit, but it's Racer with the rap shit. So I always call you Racer on the show, but it's a goddamn conundrum.
Jacer Rexus Cash.
See, I know fifth grade words too, asshole.
A couple sixth grade ones too. It's all good.
No speak English.
I know some adult ones too, you fuckers. For real. That's what's up. DKB, final thoughts?
Good show. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good night.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure, and this is No Fucks Given Radio, the official radio for those who don't give a fuck. This has been Supah Nerd-tendo. Make sure you tune in next month. I don't know what Racer's gonna do, but he'll do something, and we'll have somebody dope. And we got Fetal Autopsy tomorrow on the No Fucks Given Hour with myself and Chuckles. But for now, have a good night, and bump this anti-hero shit, because God knows that's what them 6 Emperors is on. Yeah, featuring my Racer XX Cash and MC Enigma by myself.
He was born in a small town. He dreamed he would one day change the face of music.
A nomad, nobody knows me. I do my